Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of equations for parallel lines. This is standard A.2E in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 45 of the 2019 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need to find the equation for a line that is parallel to a line represented by this equation, and it passes through this point right here. Now, parallel lines do not show up anywhere on the mathematics chart or your reference material, so you need to know what is the significance of that word parallel. That's something you need to bring into the STAAR test with you. So here it is, pretty simple. Parallel lines have identical slopes. Identical, equal, equivalent, however you want to say it. So if we graph them, remember your slope is your rise over run. So if this one has a negative slope like this, a parallel line, right, is going to never get closer, never get farther. It's going to need that exact same negative slope. If it has a different slope, it's either going to start moving away from it, it's going to start moving towards it, eventually it's going to cross it. And parallel lines, they never cross. They stay the same distance apart. So this equation that they've given us, y equals 1.2x plus 3.8, they've already given us a slope because it's in slope-intercept form. The slope, remember, is the m in the y equals mx plus b. In this case, it's the 1.2. So right, we can already eliminate two answers. B and D are incorrect because they have a negative 1.2x. Has to be identical, not the inverse, not the reciprocal. When we start doing inverse reciprocals, now we're looking at perpendicular. So we need to find a slope, a line that has a slope of 1.2. So really, our new line is going to be y equals, I already know the slope, it's got to be 1.2x. I just need to figure out what that plus b is. I don't know what the y-intercept is of this new parallel line. So we've got two options here. One, I've got a y and an x, so I can just plug those in. So let's just plug those in and we'll solve for b. Then we have to put it back in there. So my y is 0 and my x is 5, so 1.2 times 5 plus b. So that's 0 equals 1.2 times 5 is 6 plus b. And then let's just get rid of the 6 by subtracting from both sides. Negative 6 equals b. Now, that doesn't give us our answer. We still then have to plug this back in up here. So it's going to be a plus negative b, which is the same as y equals 1.2x plus negative is the same as minus 6. All right, so we're looking at A. Now, I did say there are two options. The other option lets you just find the entire slope-intercept form, and that is the point-slope form. So that also works. So when we're looking at the point-slope form, remember it's y minus y sub 1. Now, this is on your mathematics chart, your reference materials, in case you forget it. M times x minus x sub 1. And so for the y sub 1 and x sub 1, you just plug in the y and the x, but this time it's going to give you the whole equation. You're not just solving for b, you're solving for everything. So y minus, and then my y sub 1 is 0, because that's why this is so important. Gives you the point that's on the new line. My m, we had to solve for m if they didn't give it to us. In this case, we know it's parallel. So we've already got that. And then x minus 5. Right, so y minus 0, that's just y. Distribute this out. 1.2x minus 6. And then they just give you the answer. There's nothing left to do. So usually there's something left over on this y side that you have to move over to the other side. But since it's 0, you don't. So our answer is A.